Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of How Safe Is Your Data, a video series where I'll be going through Maldivian apps and finding data leaks in them and sharing it with you guys. So what did we find today? RTL app. It was it was a pretty fucked up fight, I ain't gonna lie. Let's see, we are talking ID card details, phone numbers, emails, gender, date of birth, what else? Oh yeah, your fucking card details. Yeah, that shit is out there. How does that make you feel, buddy? So this one I didn't disclose it because at the time of the discovery of the bug, basically I was getting scenes on by a lot of the companies I was contacting. This was way before I even published any videos or whatever. So I was getting scenes on by every single company I was hitting up, right? So for a disclosure of this scale, because like this, I think MTCC is like part owned by the government or whatever. Point is, this was a pretty bad leak and we had to take it seriously. So I disclosed it through a third party. Basically, I contacted one of my friends who works at a reputable company, and I had him disclose it through his company instead of me disclosing it. Because I don't think there was any. I don't think there really was any. What do you call it? Chances to fuck up the disclosure on this. So yeah, I did not shit post around with this disclosure. It was done pretty quickly, and they patched it. And once I patched it, here I am to tell you guys all about it. So let's talk about how I found the expert here. Give me a moment. All right. Basically, what I did was first I went through the RTL mobile app. This did not work because they have a certificate pinning on it. I mean SSL certificate pinning on their app. So that would basically make it impossible for me to analyze the traffic like using my normal methods, but that does not stop me. That did not stop me. So I went on to their website, which also I think their website was built in Angular, and for some reason it also did not output anything on the network tab, so I was not able to find any of the network requests. It was like pretty fucking annoying. But then I booted up HTTP Toolkit, my favorite app when it comes to analyzing networks. So this tool basically allows you to inject directly into the browser and phones and whatever and analyze every incoming and outgoing network request. It helps bypass almost any restrictions an application would put on to make sure that your users can't fuck around and see what's going on, right? This is where our problems start on the main page. This page shows what information you've registered when you sign up to the app. So I was analyzing the network requests, and what I found was that they were using API slash mobile slash v2 slash customers. This was their main endpoint that they were using, right? And I tried fucking around with that endpoint and I got nothing. I noticed that some requests were also going to a v1 slash customer. So this must have been the original endpoint that they had, and they forgot to like move. Probably wasn't done moving over everything to the new endpoint. So the bug was in the old endpoint. But yeah, they were only calling this endpoint as per my knowledge when users try to edit their personal details. So whenever you update your data, it would update it through this older endpoint. So by using the old endpoint, I started fucking around with it, right? I did one of my classic, the easiest one to do possible, where I put a slash at the end of the endpoint. Oh my bad. I put a slash at the end of the endpoint and I put in an integer. Basically, what I put in there was my customer ID, and when I put in my customer ID, it returned my data. So I'm like, what if I put someone else's customer ID there? So I put customer ID like one above me and one below me, and both returned the data. So at this point, I'm like, oh, this is bad. But I did not realize how bad it was. Okay, so as I always do, I decided to look for an admin. So I start from 0 and I run it to 10. And from there, I found some MTCC stuff because obviously I would have to like report it, so I know who to report it to, right? And this is where the concern and stuff began, because it started showing me the card number. And I'm like, why the fuck is this shit here? Mind you, it was not like the expiration date and shit like that. No, they did not have your credit. Just it's part of the number, but it's still, I don't think it should have been there. Maybe like the last 4 digits would have been fine. They had the card details and shit showing there. And that at that point I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't disclose this. I should probably have somebody else disclose it. So yeah, that's how the RTL one went. I'm sorry it's not as exciting as the other ones. In conclusion, what have we learned? Do not fucking use integers for please stop using incrementing integers for your user ID. Oh my god, I cannot emphasize this shit enough. Every single app that I found a weakness in, right? Incremental integers every single fucking time, bro. Or do y'all learn nothing? Like, why do people keep making this mistake over and over and over again? Anyway, so basically what was happening here was in the old endpoint, there was no authentication check when returning a user data. It does not check that the data it's returning is the data of the authenticated user. So this meant using the old endpoint, you could literally steal others' tickets. If somebody has taken a ticket and you want it, you can just look up their tickets and just yoink that shit out. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, but yeah, basically, I don't think you can write data as others, but you most definitely could read data as others just by changing the user ID. I actually have nothing more to add. I did not hit the disclosure, so I got no stories on that, and I am also not allowed to speak on that. What did we really learn from that? We learned is that not even MTCC is safe from me. That sounds like a threat, actually. No. Now, what we learned is even these fucking big ass companies are gonna fuck up. That's what I'm learning. But you might think, oh, this is bad. This is so bad. No, I agree, it is bad, but it's not the worst. Trust me. Now you might think, oh, they're leaking all this detail. That's bad, right? Yeah, it is bad, but it's not the worst I've seen so far. Actually, there's a lot more. There's a lot worse. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, just because there's a lot worse doesn't mean this isn't bad. But what I'm saying is, you should all be very concerned about the upcoming videos.